But I want to tell you about, the media today talking about Joe Biden's tax increase and how PolitiFact and Washington Post are saying that there are going to be no new taxes if you make under $400,000 a year. And I want to start, before I do some shout outs, I want to tell you a personal story from me. Because when I listened to Bernie Sanders, who I believed in 2016, and when I listened to Joe Biden and Washington Post and PolitiFact and all these liberals and progressives and socialists who tell me, it's only for the top 1%. It's only if you make over $400,000 a year. It's only if you're a millionaire. It's only if you're a billionaire. I was broke. I had less than $1,000, $2,000 to my name when I was 26, 27, and I had to pay for healthcare. I had no money. I was month to month living in a crappy apartment. I had barely enough money to pay for health insurance. I wasn't a billionaire. I wasn't a millionaire. I didn't make over $400,000 a year, not even close. And it was the Democratic Party. It was the California Democrats who were taxing me. They were stealing my money. And I'm thinking to myself, well, PolitiFact and Snopes and Washington Post and Joe Biden, they all tell me that, no, that's not what they do. It's, we're going to keep the taxes down. But my own wallet and my own bank account told me a totally different story. I couldn't afford health insurance, and I didn't want to pay for health insurance. And in most states, you don't have to pay for health insurance once Trump released the individual mandate or overturned it. What an individual mandate is it means you have to buy this health insurance. It's $200 to $300 or $400 a month for someone my age at the time. And if you don't buy it, which I couldn't afford to, they charge you $1,000 or $2,000 a year in some sort of penalty. They force you to buy it or they steal your money. I didn't have $400,000 a year. They were stealing my money. So this idea that PolitiFact and this idea that Democratic Party PR teams like Twitter and Washington Post can just turn around and say, fact check, Joe Biden's not going to raise your taxes, when historically Democrats always raise your taxes. Obama raised people's taxes. Even George Bush raised people's taxes. A lot of presidents promised a lot of things, and most presidents just talk. Joe Biden says he's for fracking. Joe Biden says he's for the Green New Deal. How can you be for fracking because you want to win the Pennsylvania votes, but you're also for the Green New Deal, who, of course, the progressive socialists, communists, environmentalists, they don't like fracking? How can you be for both? I mean, you can't. You can't trust this guy. But PolitiFact says you have to trust this guy. If he says your taxes aren't going to get raised, they're not going to get raised, despite the fact that all reality and logic and past situations showed me that the Democrats who say we're doing it for the poor people, we're doing it for people who have no health insurance, we're doing it for people who make under $50,000 a year. I was that person, and they stole my money. So this BS nonsense Orwellian 1984 thought police that say we're the fact checkers, we're PolitiFact, we're Washington Post, this is what's going to happen, Joe Biden will not raise your taxes, it's BS. They can't prove that he's not going to do it in the future. They can't prove that he's going to implement his plan. Who could trust a guy that says he's for fracking, then he says he's kind of against fracking, but he's for the Green New Deal, but it's just a framework, and I'll tell you after the election, this guy stands for nothing. So it's BS that he's not going to raise taxes. They always do. Democrats and socialists always do. And the line that they tell you, and I believed in 2016, was it's just for the millionaires and billionaires. And I'll tell you two things. One, when it comes to the individual mandate on healthcare, I was not a millionaire or even close. And they took my money, they taxed me, and they forced me to buy something that I couldn't afford, that didn't work. I'm paying $300, $400 a month for insurance. And then I go to the doctor and I save $0. And I said to myself, I don't want to pay for insurance that doesn't work. Why would I pay $300 a month to save $0? It doesn't make any mathematical sense. So then I opted out, and then the state of California stole my money and taxed me and gave me a penalty. This is Democrats. These are the progressives. These are the Biden types. They claim they're just going to attack the wealthy, and then they take money from you. And I'll tell you what, too, before I move on, then we'll do some shout outs and begin. When it comes to the millionaires and the billionaires and somebody who makes over $400,000 a year, most of the taxes are paid by, the wealthier people. And if you raise taxes to some astronomical rate in America or for the wealthy, they don't have to stay in your state. So California is seeing an exodus. Even Bill Maher called out Adam Schiff, and he froze up because he didn't know what to say. Millions of people are leaving California. Millions of people are leaving New York City. First of all, nobody wants to stay there because it's disgusting and they can't control the crime. And LA is literally just filled with trash. But also, people don't want to get taxed. So you can move to Florida and you don't have to pay the tax. And if Joe Biden raises it on everybody over $400,000 a year, oh yeah, all the lower class and middle class are going to make a lot of money. That's not how it works. I mean, people could just leave the country. And that's what they did before Trump. They went to Mexico. They went to China. this is what, any corporation can do unless we live in some sort of fascist state where they won't let you leave. You don't have to stay in the state and you don't have to stay in the country. So this idea that raising it even on people who make over $400,000 a year, like that's somehow some sort of phenomenal strategy, it's not true. It always trickles down when it comes to the taxes. Democrats under Obama rose taxes when Trump got in. People that hated Trump come to me and say, I'm saving more money. I get more money on my paycheck. Why? I don't understand. I'm making more now. It's because Trump lowered the taxes for everyone. Yes, for the corporations, but also for the middle class and the working class. So this is not how taxes work, but they think there's some sort of PR team for Joe Biden. They're like, fact check, he's not going to raise the taxes. BS. They always do. They did with the individual mandate. They did with Obamacare. And I know because I wasn't wealthy my whole adult life. I mean, I barely made any money until last year. And I had to pay when I had less than $2,000 in my bank account. I was getting charged. I was getting taxed. I was getting scammed by the Democratic Party. So it's BS that Snopes thinks they could do that. But I'll say this too. I'm working on a video. It's going to be done later today or tomorrow. They do the same thing in your face with the town hall. Joe Biden gets a PR town hall where they just ask him softball questions and nobody really asks him hard questions. Trump gets asked for over 40 questions by the lady was Savannah Guthrie, and the town hall only got to ask 10 questions. So it's like these people are so pompous and arrogant, they think that they're allowed to ask 40 questions in a town hall. Let the people ask. This is for the citizens to speak. But they don't want you to have a voice. And this is the same thing that big tech is doing. They're saying, fact check, you can't even think that Joe Biden would raise your taxes. Well, people with a job or a brain or a 401k or health insurance, people know what happened during Obama when Joe Biden was the vice president, and then people know what happened during Trump. So it's not this crazy conspiracy theory that Joe Biden might raise your taxes. It's everything that we know about every single Democrat in the last 30, 40 years. And to be honest, most Republicans, they all raise taxes sometimes. And, when it comes to healthcare and individual mandates, that's basically a tax forcing you to buy something that doesn't work. It's a total scam. So it's like only a matter of time that I'm even going to be able to explain this and tell my story. That's why I wanted to do it now, because eventually my story is going to be illegal. They just they steal, they censor, they close down your Facebook. I was going to launch this on YouTube, but they wouldn't even let me launch my own channel. So now I guess I can't go live on YouTube. And they're just going to beat you down, take your money, and then say it's not happening. And not only that it's not happening, they could debate me, but they don't even want to have a debate. They want to say it's not happening. He won't raise your taxes. Obamacare's great. It's helping poor people. You're killing millions of people if you disagree with it. And anybody who says otherwise is a conspiracy theorist. And that's not true. Tens of millions of people, tens of millions of families, tens of millions of working and lower class people were negatively affected by Obamacare. And I was one of them. And it's not going to save your health to have health insurance. Yes, it's great to have coverage, but this idea that taking thousands of dollars from me to give me crappy health insurance that doesn't matter, that doesn't move the needle. And this is why these Fauci types are just misleading and deceiving our nation, and you can't disagree with them because they're big bureaucrats. They have agendas, and they act like staying indoors is really good. And then a month later, they say, actually, I changed my mind. Going outdoors is really good. And then they tell you, you know what? You shouldn't go to the gym. It's dangerous to go to the gym. Just sit on your fat bottom and watch a bunch of high fructose corn syrup commercials and pharmacy ads and a bunch of, alcohol ads. Oh, that's really healthy. And then we have an obesity problem and a cardiovascular heart disease problem. Well, who would have thought in a society where you close down gyms, close down businesses, Amazon's allowed to swallow all of them up, essential workers don't stop working, but I can't go to the gym? Who would have known that health is declining? Who would have known that mental health is on the decline in this country and the life expectancy is going backwards for the first time in a long time? It's not hard when you have a phony culture, a phony health culture run by the big bureaucrats and big pharma that push mental illness, that push fear like the Faucis, that push that going to a gym is worse than staying indoors. This is the opposite of science, and this is what they do, and they think they're fact checkers, and anybody who disagrees, and then they turn around and tell you, I'm helping you with Obamacare. You know what? Stop jamming high fructose corn syrup commercials for a year. Stop advertising all this degeneracy and crap that people eat, and see how much healthier the country gets. And if you want to go full fascist with lockdowns, why don't you do a mandatory workout? Let's all do jumping jacks. Ready, guys? We all do jumping jacks twice a week because the government sounds an alarm. I guarantee you'd have thousands of lives being saved. That would save more lives than lockdowns. Mandatory workouts. Get down on the floor, fatty, and give me 20. I don't want to do it, but I also don't want the government to lock down my gym and lock down my business. So if they do that and they shut me off of Facebook and demonetize me, I would think they could do mandatory workouts and watch how many lives would be saved. But they're not interested in saving lives. They're not interested in saving you money. They're not interested in lowering your taxes. They're not interested in making healthcare that's good, that doesn't burden the average worker. They just want to lie. You're killing grandma. You're killing millions of people. You're a horrible person if you don't like this. We're not taxing you. We're not stealing your money. No, it's safe here. I mean, we love the police. I mean, we're protecting the federal building. We don't need national security. I mean, we'll do it. You know, it's not, don't believe your eyes. They're mostly peaceful protests. I mean, how dare you even think outside of the box? And this is why they hate Trump, because he's saying everything he sees, and most people see it. I hope so. I definitely see it. I think you guys do too. So I'm not going to make this too long. I'm going to chop it up and put it on YouTube. I want to let you guys know two things, and then I'm going to answer some questions. The first thing, if you ordered a white God is Great hat, they're so popular, they're out of stock. So it might take a little extra long because they sold out, which isn't bad. I mean, that's good. But the distributor who's made in America, I guess, has to make more and create more hats. And the pink ones got temporarily sold out. If your order's taking long, it's not abnormal in the COVID. Oh, it's COVID. So then they just do slow work. But yeah, a few things are selling out. So they might take a week or so to restock. So if you got a white hat and it says, you know, it's taking longer than you expected, or a black or a pink hat, that's what's going on. But dreamrare.com, that's where they're at. You can check out my shirts as well. I'll pin some stuff to the top, and then we'll keep it moving. Let's see what you guys have to say. Tell me some of your stories. Here's all my links right here. I'm not going to pin them so I can see your stuff. Someone said the hat is dope. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Ben. Thank you to everybody who's tagging me in them on my Instagram, DreamRare. It's the same as my website, dreamrare.com. My Instagram's DreamRare. I'm seeing so many people, men, women, families, couples. Someone emailed me the other day with his wife and said, or his girlfriend, maybe it's his wife. He said, you know, check it out. And everybody looks fantastic in the God is Great and God Bless hat. So thank you guys for showing me. I love seeing people wearing them and enjoying them. See what we got. Let's see. Kathy said, the taxes paid money government for is work. I can't read that, sorry. Let's see. Here in Illinois, at the height of the lockdown, they made cocktails to go. Yeah, and how many people does alcohol kill worldwide? It kills, I think, about 2 to 3 million people worldwide, which is, you know, going to rival coronavirus this year. So I wouldn't call it for a prohibition and get rid of alcohol, but if you're going to limit a gym, you should probably limit high fructose corn syrup. What if they banned high fructose corn syrup for a year? You'd probably save more lives. These people are such jokes, but I think the average person knows it. And if people don't, they're going to have a rude awakening eventually, because this all leads to either a good place or a bad place, depending how many people want to run down the right or wrong road. Let's see. Anthony said, I received my white God Bless hat. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoy it. I'm sure you look fantastic in it. I got a new light too. I won't show you, but I got a new ring light. So hopefully the lighting's good. I'm probably going to get another one for here, but I always had a stand-up light. I'm trying to get my lighting better. See what happens. Someone said Fauci said to bite the bullet and not have Thanksgiving dinner. Yet, is he going to say anything about the Women's March? Thousands of people marching. These people are such liars, and they want to make it so you can't disagree with Dr. Fauci. I'm sorry. Dr. Fauci deserves a perspective. He has a lot of power. He's no Nikola Tesla. He's no Thomas Edison. He's no, Newton. He didn't create any laws or discover HIV like Luc Montagnier. He's a big bureaucrat. So is he going to say anything about the riots and I don't think he said very much. Maybe a word or two, but barely anything. He barely says anything about the Women's March. And what's the point of we're women marching against a woman? They're mad at the Supreme Court justice who's a woman. So what's your message? You like Kamala Harris, who got to where she got from doing some dirty deeds, and then, you don't like Amy Coney Barrett, who has a huge family and who worked her ass off to get to the Supreme Court. It's not a woman's march. It's a Democratic Party, freak out fest where they don't believe their own rules. And then you're going to have all these bullshit, excuse my language, you're going to have all these bullshit New York Times articles, these op-eds. I'm a virologist. I study viruses for 15 years and I have a PhD. And I'm trying to figure out why I don't agree with Trump protests, but then when it comes to the Women's March, I agree with it. I don't think the virus spreads there. It's like, what's the point of having a PhD if you're an idiot? Like they literally wrote an op-ed one time in the New York Times. She's like, I can't figure out why I was condemning protests last week, but this week I'm totally okay with group protests. I can't figure it out. You're a liar, Becky. Go back to study common sense for a few years and get rid of the brainwash or something, or take a nap. It's like, I can't fathom why because you're a liar. You're a hypocrite. The same reason that they'll, release Trump's taxes and they don't even really show everything. They'll do all sorts of dirty stuff to the Trump family, but when there's emails for Joe or Hunter Biden that prove that they lied and that prove corruption astronomical above what Trump ever did, then you cover it up. It's called you're a liar. And I think some of these media people, at a certain point, the shame has to register. It's like, wow, I'm a total piece of trash. At a certain point, they're going to figure out that, because I'm starting to see some more neutral journalists figure it out, and it's an awakening they need. They're such hypocrites. It's insane. They don't even stick to their own science. It's bad to go to turkey dinner because Fauci said so, but if we put 20,000 women to yell at, for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, it's okay. You can't go to your funeral, but, George Floyd and John Lewis could go on a world tour and have 50 funerals. Oh yeah, where's this? The science is you're a liar. It's scientifically proven that a lot of these liberals in the media and in politics will do anything for power, anything. And it doesn't matter what they lie about, doesn't matter what they believed last week, doesn't matter the science they claim they believe in. The science they believe in is screaming science. They think yelling science makes them a scientist. They're like, science, the science. I believe in science. Science. I own science. Dr. Fauci owns science. Bill Nye owns science. I say science more than you say science, so I own science. It's like, that's okay. Hundreds of millions of dead trees isn't science, but the climate is, even though it's 70 degrees. Oh yeah, that's what set the forest on fire. No, it was arson. Oh, well, the dead trees don't matter. It's climate change. It's not the climate that made all the dead trees get there. You could say part of it escalated it, but it was decades of bad environmental policies, decades of not logging, decades of liberal and left-wing groups saying, you know what, there's species here, don't cut that down. And they left all the trees, and then they caught on fire, because that's what happens. Try to start a fire with one log, and try to start a fire with 15 logs. The fire with 15 logs is going to be much bigger. And if you don't contain the forest and cut out where it should stop, it's going to catch on other trees. So this is the most common sense science you could think of. One log or 15 logs? Which one's the bigger fire? Even a second grader can figure it out. The big fire, the big logs. Congratulations, Jimmy. You're smarter than 95% of adult liberals because they're brainwashed. They don't care about science. They just scream science. The science. New York Times told me I'm a scientist because I listen to Dr. Fauci, and I'll wear my mask for 15 years if I have to. It doesn't make you Nikola Tesla. Go invent something. Let's see what's cracking. All right, I'm going to stay 5 or 10 more minutes, and I'm going to take care of some biz. I want to record and put out a video for tomorrow. I have a whole concept. I just wanted to do this real quick. I've been cleaning, doing laundry and stuff. Let's see. Someone said, look into Fauci. Yeah, I'm very familiar with that guy. I mean, the media doesn't want you to disagree with him. He's like Martin Luther King Jr. if he met, Mother Teresa and Jesus, and they had like a three-way child. It's like, Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci discovered the first human. He went back in time and found a chimpanzee bone, and he put it together and figured out it was the first human. Dr. Fauci, you remember the Big Bang? They told you about the Big Bang? The Big Bang happened, and literally just, everyone's like, what's going to happen now? And you had one human. It was Dr. Fauci and Eve. You remember that story? Eve was the woman and Dr. Fauci was the man. And then they made humanity from Dr. Fauci. He was there when the Big Bang came. So, I mean, Dr. Fauci fought Goliath as well. I don't know if you remember that story. It was Fauci versus Goliath. Fauci, he's 2'5" or something. He's a small guy. He was fighting a Goliath, but he was such a good scientist. He discovered, free energy like Nikola Tesla, and then he figured out a way to defeat Goliath. So I have the utmost respect for Dr. Fauci. I mean, it's hard to do so many important scientific things in history. It's hard to really figure out who's been more influential on humanity than that guy. I mean, you won't catch me disagreeing with him ever. I mean, what hasn't he done? Hold on, I spilled my coffee. Time out Time out, folks. This is real world, okay? I know I'm supposed to be a professional, but I don't want this to stain, okay? Look how nice this shirt is. This is like a $20 shirt. Hold on. All right. We don't want this to stain. I just got this apartment, okay? Keep things nice around here. All right. Here come the fact checkers. Fact check. It's partially true that Dr. Fauci discovered, the double helix. Okay, I'll be right there. Someone's here. I think it's my delivery food, but it's only partially true that it was Watson, Crick, and Dr. Fauci. Watson and Crick have been considered racist since the 1980s, so we've now given that discovery to Dr. Fauci. He owns it. All right, I'm spilling coffee. I got deliveries. It's just a bad time. All right, two more questions. We'll read some comments or whatever, and then we'll keep it moving. Someone said, watch Dan Bongino today explain the Soros connection to Ukraine and Hunter Biden and all the unrest in Democrat cities. God bless Dan Bongino. I'll check it out, but I heard Dan has cancer, and prayers for Dan. Dan is a warrior. He's a fighter, and I would say he's one of the more impressive, Republicans in the last couple of years, especially supporting Trump and defending him against all this BS. So prayers up to Dan Bongino. Pray for that guy. He's a strong guy. I pray for his complete removal of the evil virus. So that was a great line about Fauci being 2'5". Did anybody get that? That was great writing. It's not writing though. I'm unlike Joe Biden. I don't have a teleprompter 20 times the size of my head. I make this stuff up on the spot. It comes out of thin air. So there's no writing. If I turn my thing around, you'll see I don't have any notes. I don't need notes. I'm like Amy Coney Barrett, except I have paper towels. No notes, just racist white paper towels. How come they're always white? Did you ever think that, guys? If you never thought that, you're probably a racist, because if you've ever been to liberal arts and had a class on, white supremacy, you'd understand the reason that there's only white paper towels is because Christopher Columbus, the white straight male, came to America, and he said, they were like, do you want a black towel to wipe up your mess? And he said, are you kidding me? He was a racist. So he said, no, I want a white paper towel. And then he killed Native Americans, and since then they've been making white paper towels. So support your local black-owned business and get some black paper towels, because this is just disgraceful. And it's a shame Christopher Columbus ever came, because if he never came, I'd never exist in the first place, and neither would anybody else. And everyone else was so peaceful. It's like only Christopher Columbus was bad. Everybody else was just sitting around just like, kumbaya. There was no violence whatsoever. I mean, it was just like Mulan, basically, without the animation. And then Christopher Columbus came and said, white man, and then paper towels. Next thing you know, genocide, millions of people dead, America, Teddy Roosevelt. I don't want to bore you guys with my historical knowledge, but, somewhere along the lines, I think it was Fauci who created the wheel. You ever see the two cavemen? That was actually Fauci. He innovated the wheel, and that's why you can drive a Tesla. So thank Dr. Fauci. He's responsible for everything, and this video is going to get fact-checked 1,000 times. All right, one more, and then I got to roll. I got groceries outside. I don't buy groceries anymore because they make me wear a mask, so I just get Jeff Bezos to hand deliver them to me. Let's see. Serious question. Did you see California's new rules for teachers to fight racism? It's a total joke, and Gavin Newsom is a tyrant. I know we voted against, last time in California, we voted against the rent thing. They had some BS rent rule, and everybody voted against it, and he lost, and he still passed it. He doesn't even listen to anything. He's like, I know on the ballot this year is some sort of like racist anti-MLK, like, anti-white, like, diversity rule or something that literally you have to like rescind the old rule of content of character, and if it doesn't pass, he's still gonna do it. The guy is such a demon. It's so annoying. I wish people would wake up. They're like, my mom watches Fox News and it's the worst thing in the world. It's like, Fox kind of sucks, but it's actually better than MSNBC, and I don't even like Fox News, but it's like, my mom likes Fox News, so I'm gonna vote for Kamala and I'm gonna show her. It's like, guys, raise your kids right, because the media is going to raise them wrong, and these stupid schools. It's like people come out of college and they're dumber than when they went in. They're like, I don't want to use white paper towels anymore. I learned on Anomaly stream that Christopher Columbus brought them. You're like, you gotta stop them from watching this. It's gonna get bad. What about the headline that reads, Trump denies aid to California for fires? They're so full of nonsense. Every time Gavin Newsom gets the money he wants, but the media is such a joke. I mean, they're not even hiding it anymore. These people are full-blown psychopaths. Like, how psycho do you have to be if you're like, I don't believe in big events. Okay, I don't agree with you, but okay, no events because the virus spreads. Unless you're burning things down and there's thousands of people for my politics, then my science goes out the window. These are full-blown psychopaths. Like, if I acted this way, no one would watch my channel, rightfully so. This is why they have to censor me, because no one likes them. They're like, I need to destroy everybody and be a hypocrite and then I'll win. It's like, just stop lying. They don't believe in anything. They have a virus degree for virology, and they don't even, they think that like being a Democrat makes you immune or something. It's such a joke. They're like, I don't know why I support these, but not these. How come my science? It's not science. You're a liar, Becky. Go away. Get off New York Times. Go home. Play Mario Kart or something, then come back tomorrow and be a better journalist. All right, guys, I got to go. I got a delivery. So God bless you guys. God bless your family. God bless America. God bless the world. I'll be back with more videos. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning probably, now that it's later. I like dropping them in the morning. I should have a new video that just exposes how fake and BS the media is. You can watch this on YouTube later, BitChute, and if you ordered a white hat, it says out of stock. I mean, they're going to put them back in stock, but we're selling out. I mean, I think I'm overwhelming this company that's helping me do this because we're crushing so much. So thank you to everybody buying a hat and shirt. Email me. If something goes wrong with it, just email me. I'll give you a full refund or I'll get it done. The amount of people that are like, anomaly, I put the wrong address. Anomaly, I did. It's like, guys, come on, get your stuff together before you order. But if you don't, I'll help you, okay? I'll give you a refund. I'll pay for it. I'll get it to you. I've changed like 10 addresses. So it's like, just get your stuff together before you go to dreamrare.com. But if you go to dreamrare.com and you don't have your stuff together, I'll help you because I'm a nice guy. And it's me doing all the customer service too. So just think about that. Me crying in the morning when you mess up your address. It's me waking up, drinking my coffee, and then having to deal with your nonsense. But I'll still do it because I appreciate your support. And I guess that's just what you have to do when you sell hats. I'm a hat salesman now. Can't stop, won't stop. God bless. Sold out. Pink Dream Rare hats. God is great hats. Sold out. Guys, we're selling out like hotcakes, but they're going to come back in stock, so don't you worry. Have a good day, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with a new video.